Hi CPA families, I hope you are all doing okay given the current circumstances. I just wanted to pop a video on and let you know what we've got planned given that the restrictions have now definitely been extended further. I know that everyone's getting a lot of emails. Myself as a parent with 3 children, I seem to be inundated with emails and everything, which is wonderful, but it's a lot to get through and a lot to remember. So I hope just watching a video that explains everything is a bit better than having to trawl through an entire email. I hope I'm going to answer all your questions, but of course, as usual, if you have any questions at all, please pop me an email. I will try my best to help. Although at the moment, I won't be saying I can predict the future, because who can do that right now? And I will do my best to answer your questions. So here's all the info you need for what we've got planned this coming year. So the first thing to talk about is obviously the fact that the restrictions have been extended, and that does now mean that we can't return to in-person classes at the point that we had planned after February half term, or hoped for after February half term. So what we are now going to do is just push the term dates right back into the summer term, and if restrictions are lifted any earlier and we are able to return earlier, we will set up however many weeks that is of in-person classes separately as an additional season as such that you can enrol for. But the current season of the 5 weeks that we'd planned for, February to March, has effectively been shifted. So if you've already enrolled for that, you are enrolled for what will be the 11th of April start, which is Sunday, through to I believe the 27th of May. Now that actually makes it a 7-week half term, and the period obviously we've currently catered for is a 5-week half term. So if you've already enrolled, we will just figure out the adjustments and add anything relevant or deduct anything relevant from your account. If you have not yet enrolled, the portal is currently closed and you can't enroll just yet. It's going to take me a little while to figure everything out and sort it all out, do all the maths and alter the classes appropriately. As soon as I have done that, I will pop you an email and just let you know that you can now enrol. The early bird has been and gone, and we're going to leave it as that. So those that have already got the early bird, if I do need to add any fees, I will account for that when I do so. Now, as you know, we do have a show planned for the 11th of July with dress rehearsals on the 10th of July. Now, as it stands, we are absolutely committed to making that go ahead. We think it'll be a brilliant opportunity. I feel like it'll be just what everyone needs after this horrible last year. And it'll be a really nice way to hopefully finish this academic year on a high. What we would like to do though is, for next term only, is because musical theatre obviously isn't in the show because it's a dance show this year, is reduce the musical theatre classes a little bit. So we will make them a little bit shorter in their time and extend the jazz, acro and commercial because those ones are the ones that are going to be in the show, and obviously we've missed a lot of time already. So actually making up that time is going to be a little bit more important at this point. And then hopefully, obviously, from September, we'll be able to revert everything back to a bit more of a balance. So between now and when we intend to go back in April, I will run some recap classes. Now, although I'm not going to make these compulsory, I would really appreciate it if the children who are in those classes would attend. They will obviously be online, unless we are allowed to do them in any other way at some point, but they will be online, and I know that online is not ideal for everybody, and we've been very, very lenient with not enforcing online learning because we know it's hard, and we know especially at the moment while children are actually physically not in school, they are spending a massive amount of their day staring at a screen, and it's therefore not ideal. But these will literally just be one-off little recap classes of about 40 minutes just to tick over occasionally and nearing that point that we're going to return, just to make sure that what we've already learned we remember and we know, so that when we come back into class we're not spending the first 2 weeks recapping. And something that we noticed last time when some people attended online classes and not everyone else did, is that the children that didn't attend were really, really behind comparatively when we returned after the 4 weeks. So it is really important if we pop those out. I mean, it will literally be like one class for every style that we're doing for each age group at max, and we will literally just pop out and say, can you just attend this 40-minute class? Please don't worry about space. We know that there's not always a lot of space and everyone's working within different parameters. We don't need you to be able to do it full out. What I just need you to do is have that visual moment of watching it or joining in as much as you can to remind yourself of what we've learned. And then that means that those first couple of weeks we're not coming back going, oh yeah, what was that? Oh, we need to catch up on that and we need to polish that again. And of course, whilst you're at home, please practice your dances as much as you can, because that will make a massive, massive difference. And we're hoping that by the time we come back in the summer, and obviously with all the vaccines and everything being on target, that we'll be able to be a little bit more free in the way that we move and be able to position the dances a bit more and get you moving a little bit more within your groups as well, which will be really, really helpful. So yeah, please practice. And like I said, those recap classes that we'll offer, I'm really, really asking you nicely to please make sure your children do attend those, even if they are sat and watching and then practice it on their own afterwards. I just need them to know that when they come back to class, they do know what they're doing up to the point we've got to, and obviously thereafter it'll be new for everyone, and it just keeps everyone on an even playing field and means that we can all return at the same point. Okay, so to summarise all of that, essentially we are pushing back our term, and we will effectively start back for the summer term in person from the 11th of April, Sunday the 11th of April. That will give us quite a few weeks up until the 11th of July when we have our show, but we will have the first section of that term will be a 7-week term, and then we'll put out enrolment for the second half nearer that time, but the timetable between those two will remain the same. I'm going to look at the timetable and reduce musical theatre a little bit just for next term so that we can focus on the lessons that are going to be in the show, and I will also make sure that we offer a few catch-up classes or recap classes just to make sure that children come back to the start of term knowing what they're doing and feeling more confident. If we are allowed to return in person any earlier than April, I will set up a new season and put the timetable into that season, and you will have to enrol for that separately. So rather than pushing terms backwards and forwards, we're going to leave that one that starts from the 11th of April, and if we're allowed to open, say 2 weeks in person for classes at the very end of March or something, then we will do that and we'll open it as a separate season. And again, if that happens, it'd be really important at this point that you attend, because that is going to set you up, again, like I say, so you're not behind the rest of your class. I hope that helps. I will figure out any credits, refunds, anything owing, and do all of that. So at the moment, you can't log into that season and enrol right now. And if you already have, like I said, I will of course carry over your early bird if there's any more money owing from the way that we shift classes next term, and I will let you know about that. I hope that helps. Any questions, please do let me know. And most importantly, stay safe. And I really hope to see you all really soon. Okay, take care. Bye.